Welcome to Built for This, the podcast where real estate meets real life skills. Hosted by Andrea Lane and Alissa Bickar, each episode features investors turning their unique edge into long-term rental success.
Hello and welcome to the Built for This podcast. I am your co-hostess, Alissa Bickar, the consultress, here having amazing conversations with my partner in crime here, Andrea Lane, the fearless real estate investor. We are interviewing real, live real estate investors that bring what they are, who they are to the table in their real estate investing business strategy. So not only do they get to do things that make them money, they get to be more of who they are. And we're so excited to interview today's guest. Andrea, who do we have for them today?
So today we have Abi Horton, who lives in Florida, but her rental's actually in Ohio. In addition, she also has this great application that allows landlords and renters to meet for midterm rental opportunities. So Abi, I'm very excited to have you here. So my favorite question, what made you get into real estate?
Yeah, hi. I love real estate. I grew up, my mum was always renovating our homes growing up. And so I kind of I feel like I was born into it. And actually my first big girl job was as a real estate agent. When I was 18, I left school. In the UK, the setup is a little bit different. So I left school and got a job as a real estate agent when I was 18. And yeah, so I think it took me a little while to get to the point where I became the investor myself, but I got there eventually and I love it.
That's great. What do you love most about it?
Well, I mean, aside from the fact that it's completely changed my life, I think that it's something, I'm just passionate about it and I'm able to do it in a way that combines a number of different things that I love. So right now, being so thick in midterm rentals, we've got this kind of combination of hospitality and we'll talk about the platform a little bit more, but being able to be an entrepreneur and integrate different aspects of real estate and helping people is really the sweet spot for me.
Yeah, I like that too. So
listen, I love it when you can light yourself up and it totally fuels you to be what you're doing. And I just want to tease out here, so many people that get involved in real estate start with the agent journey. And there is a very peculiar situation in being an agent that kind of puts you in the role of having a job. And I love that you had the foresight to see it as a progression into real estate investing. That piece right there is one of the most amazing entrepreneurial insights when you can flip it upside down and go, oh, wait a minute, this isn't just for people to buy homes to live in. This is an asset class. This is a business model. What? So how did your skills and proclivities kind of lend themselves into you developing your real estate investment strategy?
Yeah, such a great question. I think my life as a real estate agent when I was 18, that was a long time ago. So it feels like a lifetime ago for me. But since then, I've played different roles in sales but always had some connection with some kind of hospitality or customer service. And so, there was a brief period where I was a flight attendant. And so all of these things I think combined made me realize that I love working with people. And I love being able to help people. And so when I found this little spot where I could work in this midterm rental niche and really leaned into specifically insurance relocations, that really kind of changed the game for me, because you start to connect with these families who have been impacted by possibly the worst thing they've ever experienced. They've lost their home and their safe space, so if there's anything that I could do to make that process even just a little bit easier, it really felt like a rewarding place to be. And at the same time, I got to connect these people that need this housing with the people that I knew that had properties. And I said, hey, do you have availability? And they're like, yeah, my place is open. I'm like, brilliant. I can bring you a 3-month lease or a 6-month lease or whatever it might be and get them paid, So I really like being in that little spot. And I think it was an accumulation of everything that I've done in the past that led me to where I am right now.
Yeah, and I love the insurance end of it. We've rented to people in those situations, and they're probably the best tenants ever. So as a landlord, it's really a good place to be in.
Yeah, it's really rewarding to know that you're able to help somebody when they're going through such a tough time. And our goal has always been to find them somewhere safe and comfortable to stay. Yeah.
That's cool.
It gives you the warm and fuzzies. So do you feel like that's your unfair advantage? Is that like you have this huge heart for finding people a piece of space that gives them peace of mind that also has like a win-win-win scenario all around?
Yeah, I love that. A piece of space for peace of mind. Somebody should totally use that.
I think you should. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. And it's funny that you use that win-win-win because I love that from, I read it in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, the Stephen Covey book. I love that book and I love that saying. And I really do look for that win-win-win scenario. Yeah, I think it was not just helping the families and finding them that peace of mind. It was being able to do it and get that win-win-win. So we're helping the relocation companies find somewhere quicker. We're helping the families have somewhere safe and comfortable to stay. And then we're also bringing the real estate investors occupancy, and we just take a little slice in the middle and to cover our time and resources, and it's a win-win for everybody.
That's fabulous. I really like the way you pull it together. And as I say, almost every time we have a guest, real estate's all about people. It's not about properties. And so once you understand that, and if you love people, and I do, it makes it so much easier, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So can you share a recent win that you've had in your real estate journey?
Yeah. I would say a recent win. I mean, it's just was going live with the platform. It was a journey. We started development in June of last year, so June 2024 is when I actually started the development of it. So it's been a long process, and there's been a lot of delays and things that have come up. And I don't try and pretend to be the tech person in this. I have a development team that does all the tech stuff. I'm just the real estate investor that knows the process. But because I have that background, I know what needs to happen to make this the most efficient for both sides. So the people that are looking for housing and the people that have the housing. So it's taken some tweaking. There's been, features that had to be added and things that caused these delays, which has been tough. It's been a journey, but now we've gone live. It's super exciting to be able to actually tell people about it, get people to sign up and check it out. And yeah, just to get over that line. And really, I mean, I'm talking about it like it's the end. I mean, it's really just the beginning, but that in itself is super exciting. So definitely a win.
Yeah. And it sounds like in real estate investing, every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end, and vice versa. So, I just got done rehabbing this project. What are all my exit strategies? Maybe I'll hold it for long term. Maybe I'll furnish it and do midterm or short term. Having a bunch of different ways that you can look at a project, it creates newness along the way. And so for those of us entrepreneur brains, or maybe people who just can't sit still, having that novelty and being like, oh, this is a new phase, this is a new piece, you get to reignite your excitement, which is one of the things I am so loving about this discussion, because I'm actively watching all your light bulbs come on. And it's like, I'm in, I'm hooked. Like, tell me more. I mean, you started talking a little bit about it in your recent win, that, and this is something in any industry, if you put your business owner hat on, scope creep or timeline, drag, this is stuff you have to expect as the unexpected shows up. And so as you were going through and creating this platform to help facilitate these win-win-win scenarios, what was one of the biggest challenges that you came across, either as it pertains to the people, the property, or the product itself?
Yeah, I would say, I'm always trying to build new relationships. And so that in itself can be challenging. But I work really hard on trying to just be authentic and get across the message that I really just want to be of value. I want to be of service. That's where I really thrive. So being able to communicate that is sometimes tough, because I mean, I'm just a small business trying to get the message out there. So I would say that building more relationships for the people that need the housing. I've been able to create some great relationships over the last few years, but I'm trying to get to a point where I can get the best opportunities for my fellow real estate investors. So growing that as much as possible has had its challenges, but I'm still going to keep pushing through. I've been trying to offer the platform to as many people as possible, and that's meant some no's, but I don't really hear them as no's. It's just a not right now. And, I think my again, going back to where I've come from, part of my career history involves I work as a voice actor. And so I hear a lot of no's, and that's okay. For me, it's not right now. So I'm still going to keep pushing and trusting that this is what I'm doing right now. And the way that I'm going to deliver this is different to how anybody else might deliver it.
Yep, that makes a whole lot of sense. So, we're wrapping up now, but I'd like to know in the next 6 to 12 months, what's your expectations? What are you looking to accomplish now that you've sort of got your application up and running and you're still building a network that'll go for lifetime? I know in my case, it never ends. So besides that, what's on your platform now?
I think that the goal certainly for the next 6 to 12 months is building the platform out, getting the message out there, building the landlords and the properties that we can deliver the opportunities to, and then also building the relationships for the people that need housing. I've built the business so far in the past few years based mostly on insurance relocations, but the way that the platform works, it will function the same way for corporate housing, traveling professionals, and anybody that might need temporary housing on a midterm basis. And so it's really just going to be about building the properties and then building the housing requests so that the platform becomes more valuable for everybody.
Fabulous.
I mean, I love it when I see all your bells and whistles and you're going, you know what, there's more value to create in here. There's more value to harvest, because I think one of the things we see all the time is I have an idea, I'm running with it. And then you get to the end of the rope and you think, have I missed something? Or is there something more I can be doing? But to always be asking that question, what more is possible now? Because our plans rarely show up at the end of what we are up to as we expected it to be at the beginning. The planning is important, but the plans become irrelevant almost the minute they're published, because as you're in motion, you learn more, you get to see more things. So I love your mindset around this of always looking for what more value can be created. So thank you so much for being here with us. Where can people go to learn more about you and your projects?
Yeah, thank you. You can follow me on Instagram. I'm at the Abi Horton. And actually, if listeners want to follow me and send me a DM, I'll send them my resource for optimizing their listing, their online listing, in the best ways that I know how. So yeah, Instagram is probably the best place to find me.
Awesome. Right on. Well, we are the Built for This podcast. We have had such a great time learning about you and your project and your history and what you're bringing to the table to create value in this world. Entrepreneurship, I always say, is the thing that saves the world, because we're solving emergent problems. Just so happens in this space to be in real estate and providing housing for people who need it. So lovely to meet you. Don't go away if you're listening to this on the podcast streaming platforms. We have another amazing guest lined up for you right after this. Don't go away.
This wraps another episode of Built for This. If you're a real estate investor with a unique edge, apply to join us at builtforthisshow.com/guest.